Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to NRA Press. I am your host, Gary Singh from Los Angeles, and used to be a friend of Inder Singh. In 2006, I moved to LA from Michigan after spending almost my 20 years in the automotive industry as an engineer and my own business also. NRA media is in my blood. I started in 2000 as a service to the community. So we promoted more than 70 associations in North America without charge a penny from them and expected that they should run associations for good cause. Associations are for good cause. That was, I have a all the time conversation with Inder Singh. As a friend, we always make a press release for Inder Singh, thought that he's doing a great job for community. He died on September 27, and even after his death, 1 year today, I started getting some rumors there, some court cases going on. I'm going to introduce Mini Galeria ji. Can you say something what we are doing here? Maybe you heard about us, or what's supposed to be done for GOPIO?
First of all, Gary ji and the rest of the members, I'm a life member for last 8 years. I joined GOPIO because I was invited by Mr. Inder Singh, and I am very proud of GOPIO and what GOPIO has achieved to date. And I want to thank you, Mr. Gary Singh, for arranging this unbiased platform for GOPIO members to talk constructively and unbiased to bring our organization to a point of total transparency and freedom of speech. Please note, the key words here are unbiased and constructive. If Sunny or Mehen or I had suggested this Zoom meeting, everyone would have thought that we have some personal agenda or some axe to grind. So NRI Press serves the community by bringing news to the people, good, bad, or ugly. This is called the freedom of press. If they do not have news, there is no need for a press. You know, I was watching the Sushant Singh Rajput's new on YouTube, and when Arnab Goswami made so much noise about his death, the death of SSR, that all the important agencies in India jumped in to start the investigation. Press is an investigative agency. They have the freedom and the democratic right to give the correct news to the people, the public. When all the leaders of any association lines up on the stage after a meeting, they're very happy for the press to take their pictures and put those photographs in the press. But what happens when the press wants to write about the reality of what is happening, or what changes can be made, or what are they suggesting, or bringing members like us on an open forum for exchange of ideas and views? This is not a blame game or personal axe to grind. This is just Mr. Gary Singh's way of getting real news from the members from different parts of the world, so that when he writes something about GOPIO International, it should be correct, it should be authentic, it should be transparent, and everybody has a right to give their views. Mr. Gary Singh, in his initial introduction to me, assured me that he wants to help GOPIO. He's not here to destroy or blame GOPIO. He wants to help. Moving on, I would like to thank all the GOPIO founding members for having spent their time and their energy and their experience bringing GOPIO to this point. This get-together, I hope we will speak constructively and about the future of GOPIO with enthusiasm and a new vision.
Okay, thank you very much. Now let me say, Amrita Pandari, you are local here, and you sent a few times the email also and communication with
My name is Amrit Bhandari. I'm in Southern California. and I'm a GOPIO member for last 8-9 years. I was president of several organizations, Lions Club, Giant Center, FIA, and all that. And I got into FIA. Currently, I am president of Orange County chapter GOPIO for last 2 years. I knew Inder Singh since 1982-83. He's in California, FIA programs. Started many activities, but for some reason, I think GOPIO lagged behind. We have many programs with FIA and FIA, but GOPIO never did grant programs like 15 August program, 7 January program. People don't know what GOPIO means. I live in Irvine, California. About 10,000 Indian families live there, but most of them do not know what GOPIO is. GOPIO name should be household name, like FIA or the NRI Press. Everybody knows NRI Press. So our community leaders and members of the GOPIO have a big task getting this word very familiar to the Indian community. Indian community will help. Also, we have a lot of programs that are going right now regarding the helping in the virus, medical help, food help, and dollar help. Here in Gurudwara and Jain Center, we are giving groceries last 2.5, 3 months. Every day, every Sunday, 300 to 400 people at 5 locations pick up grocery. And there are big donors here. Indian community is wealthy community, they will help, but we have to get GOPIO name very familiar to everyone. And that is not happening in the last, 8-9 years I'm with the GOPIO. We have maybe once a meeting, we pay dues, and after that, we don't hear from anybody. I talked same thing to Paris area local people and here, and I think we have to work hard to get GOPIO word as a familiar word. Like FI and FI popular, same thing, we should do that. And our leaders have great task to make this word very familiar to the community and raise the funds so that we can send money to India, Akal Vidyalaya or other programs are doing. We should help Indian community. We at Jain Center, we are doing last 32 years, free medical camps, 5 locations in Southern California and Africa, India, Pakistan, we had in Caribbean countries, Dr. Nitin Shah. We are doing all that community work. Maybe GOPIO can join these people. You don't have to pay money, you can join, if you're a nurse, your doctor, your whatever, you can help. American Red Cross gives a lot of free equipment if you do medical free camp. City of Anaheim does for 5 days medical camp last 7 years. We started that, and convention center, we get 800, 900 people there. At the same time, they do visa camp there, they do citizenship applications. So these are community services. GOPIO should get more involved. That is my request to all community leaders, Africa, India, wherever you are, Paris. And thank you for giving me time, Gary. It's wonderful to have some kind of meeting that we can come to the each ideas and explore future. Thank you very much.
Why you said that they are nothing except paying $100 per year? What do you mean of that?
Well, we are paying dues last 6-7 years, and that's at the end of the year. I don't know what's happening.
Okay.
No communication, no emails, no conference call, nothing.
You want me to talk?
Go ahead.
Hi, thank you very much, everybody. My name is Harry Shad. I am in the founding member of GOPIO LA. I had been very optimistic. I was very enthusiastic when it got started. And Keval Kanda had been the idol for all of us until one fine meeting, he initiated to have the elections without a notice. And that kind of little shock to me that, how could you have the election of executive committee without providing notice? So, somehow or another in the conference, it got postponed. And then I had even requested Mr. Keval Kanda to come up with the information about the candidates who want to be the president, vice president, etc. And he started to be so evasive and started to shock me that without even proper voting or anything, he declared himself on his own the entire executive committee, which was totally preposterous according to me. And then came another meeting wherein the oath was being conducted. I gave him my dues for 2020 and asked for a receipt. And guess what, ladies and gentlemen, GOPIO LA is running without a receipt book.
Yes,
There is no receipt book.
you are right. You are right.
And when I talked to Keval Kanda, the so-called, the father of all of these, the trustee,
He is supposed to be
he,
treasurer.
he totally declined to, take that issue into consideration. And when I asked him that, how about the checks I pay? And he would say that your cancel check is your receipt. And I said, how about the cash? And guess what? He had no answer. This is one subject. Let's go to the other one. I had been asking that I would like to see your revenues and expenses. The reason being, in every meeting, he would indicate that, yes, for example, we had 10,000, I spent 1,000 here, 500 there, 600 there. And when I would like to see the detail, he had been very tactfully evasive. He would not show me anything until I started to initiate.
Harry ji, I'm sorry to stop you, but we decided not to do a blame game here.
Okay,
We were
let
going
me.
to talk
No. Miniji,
Okay.
excuse me. I am not blaming. I'm talking nothing but the truth. And I want to announce this publicly. Just 1 second, please. I'm talking right now under penalty of perjury, which GOPIO LA is so shy like a chicken.
That's
They
it.
have no courage and no strength. Once again, Garyji, I repeat, my statement is totally under penalty of perjury, and I stand by what I talk.
Thank you very much. Can we go to Mr. Sunny now? I have gone through your all information here. You are a very qualified person, and
Yes.
Bahrain and India. I think you can do better job to bring our community together.
Garyji, I would like to show this. If
Okay,
everybody can read.
okay, sure.
I just want to, my dream of GOPIO is to make it much better than Lions Club and Rotary Club, because they have the offices in Chicago, and I have already arranged $1 million office for GOPIO in Chicago and $1 million endowment fund for GOPIO. Why I am focusing on this is because Inder Singh, I visited him in his house last 1 or 2 years back. And I know that the whole information what Inder was having after his death, we don't get anything from that source. Even Mrs. Inder Singh also died. And even Thomas Abraham is another person whom after his time, we will not have any document or any information about GOPIO. So my vision is to have our own office with 1 or 2 very good staff to follow with all the chapters, life members. And I already arranged. Dr. Deepak Vyas has offered, and I went and visited this office in Chicago, and it's a $100 million office in Chicago, where he is offering $1 million office for the GOPIO and $1 million endowment fund. See, what I feel is, presently what GOPIO is doing, collecting money from chapters, life members, and as somebody said, there is no accountability. So the basic thing is, cash or this should not be our main attention. I can raise any amount if we are transparent and if we are doing a good job, and I'm confident that we can do that. On that presumption that I have arranged Dr. Deepak Vyas, I spent a lot of time with him. He came to the Varanasi GOPIO convention and he offered this in front of everybody that he's giving an office, and I went and visited the. What I'm saying is, if GOPIO has to come up to that level of Lions Club, Rotary Club, that level, we must have a setup of our own with a real vision to contribute to different globally. Now what happened is, the picture is GOPIO is a US-centric organization. That should be removed. My fight with GOPIO for the last several years is to see that if we want to make it global, we must have a representation of at least 50, 60 countries. Otherwise, don't use the word global. This is my fight. This is my, I have a lot of, even this case, what is going on in Bangalore is actually not against GOPIO. It is against the manipulation of the minutes of the Varanasi General Body meeting with our Dr. Sai Giridhar knows, and even all these participants, there were 47 participants, 30 of them gave an affidavit of what has happened there in that particular meeting. But complete, see, even you were mentioning about Kevalkanda and all these people. I have all respect to Kevalkanda. When I came to LA, he came to the airport to receive me. We had a dinner in Inder Singh's house. Everything is pakka. But I have a lot of difficulties or problems with Kevalkanda and even Rajiv Mehta. Both of them in Varanasi. I think our Mini Gileria was also there. When we mentioned that nominated members like treasurer and secretary will not have voting rights in the executive committee, both of them murmured in the stage. If that is the case, we will not work. In spite of that, we have not decided to give voting rights for both of them. But in the minutes, they were not having any minutes. When I prepared the minutes, it was manipulated in such a way that as if we have decided to have voting rights for these people. So all these small things, I feel we should be very transparent. Even why I am participating is just because there was a voice against participating in these type of events. I am also basically a journalist. I have written 3-4 books, and I know even small communications network, all this is very, very important. And what Gary Singh is doing, I salute him for taking up this initiative, and I'm sure taking some more time, we will at least get 100 people from for GOPIO from different parts of the world to participate in his discussions. Today it is a short notice, but whatever it is, I appreciate, and my vision is to have a GOPIO where we all come from a global level without any vested interest and without any fight for the positions and this thing. But let us contribute, and I'm very proud that I have brought more than 24 life members, 5, 6, 7 chapters. I started with London, Chicago, and all other places. And I visited Malaysia, Singapore, wherever our dissident groups also there, I discuss with them. I want everybody to come together in a GOPIO banner. And I'm sure that it can be done, provided a little bit of changes happens with pure transparency. Transparency means transparency, nothing else. Unless that transparency, we cannot proceed. I took a lot of time. Thank you. Thank you very much. I have a lot of things to say. Discussions, I will come.
Communications.
Mr. Sani, can I ask you one question there? When you are, you said you are a president, is it about balance sheet or financial things? You people continue to do it, or maybe not?
See, the problem with GOPIO is, as the president, the treasurer should get my permission or my this thing to sanction or approve or give any funds. For the past 2 years, not a single time, hello?
Hold it. Sunny ji, go ahead. Sunny ji, go ahead, please.
Go ahead.
See, not a single time my permission he asked, or I have not given any permission for him to spend any money. But I don't know, maybe chairman and himself, they were handling all. See, for me, money is not the main thing. We want the networking globally.
Yes.
And I have conducted 4 or 5 conventions. I have done a genuine job for the last several years. And I'm very proud and happy. I can challenge anybody in GOPIO who can come anywhere nearer to my work. But the thing is, I wrote a lot of enemies in the sense that when I come to the facts, I fight for the facts. Because this Varanasi minutes, once it is manipulated, I am fighting for that, for the truth and justice. And Harbachan Singh was there in the meeting. And so many, even Sai Girdhar was there, even Mini Gileria was there. I am fighting only for that. Otherwise, what is the fun? When we general body, once we take a decision, executive committee cannot overrule that. That is what happened here. Even the election, what announced is against the general body decision. Plus 35, 40 members, including the live members, complained to me that they didn't get any information about the GOPIO election. How can we proceed like that? So these are things where this election is not the important thing. We need a GOPIO to survive with our friendship and our real networking. And I'm just bringing a lot of other facts to the people very soon. And I'm sure GOPIO can survive if we are transparent and honest. That's all. Knowing your background and the way Mini Gileria was explaining about you, in spite of lot of problems, I just rushed from my farm and without anything, immediately I'm just joining it. Even I could not arrange the computer, everything, but I'm happy that you have done it. That is what I introduction also I mentioned. Thank you very much for
Yeah.
all what you are doing.
I have
Thank you very
question
much.
for-
Let me
I
go
have
to
question
Dr. Sai Giridhar. Thank you, sir.
So getting together and discussing and sorting out matters is a very civilized method. And I should thank Mr. Gary Singh that you are giving us a voice, an opportunity to speak. And we are talking across a different platform now, unlike before, wherein I'm able to see Mr. Harry Shad, Mr. Amrit, Mrs.
Thank you,
Mini,
thank you.
and others who are hardly we are able to get on a platform. Now, coming to the contention, we have been exchanging some emails. That is the only means of communication now, wherein we express ourselves, and mostly it is to the GOPIO organization. And I must say that anything that is not favorable or not in line with some people's thought is ignored or hushed up. And this is a big frustrating point. I am a life member of GOPIO for the past 8 years, and I have held positions as international coordinator and secretary. I've conducted committee activities as a chapter committee chair, as well as the election committee member just recently, and have been active in various positions in the organization. So ignoring somebody's voice for the sake of ignoring because it's not convenient to you is not acceptable. And this is what happens repeatedly. Today, I'm seeing all of you have huge achievements and big life behind you and ahead of you. We are dedicating time to this organization, not for nothing. Somewhere we got connected. And GOPIO is not anybody's property. If this was a corporate, then I would claim a huge salary for my time. But we're not getting anything. So there should be a lot of respect for people who spare their time and use their skills for the organization. And I must tell you, listening to all of you, there's so much energy to make this organization bigger. We all have dreams. You know, you can't just live your life, build a career, raise your family, make money. We all have that Maslow's hierarchy of contributing to the society. And once we reach that point, we can easily visualize how an organization like this can grow. I'm sure there's plenty of points that have been completely ignored because some people want it some way, and these kind of improvements are not suitable for them. This is quite corrupt, I must say. Selfish and self-intentional. So I think it's very important that at once this organization comes to its original nature as any social organization should be, because right now it's not.
I have few questions for that because I was reading that all 15 points you mentioned it, some are very critical, some are okay. You spend a lot of time on that. You are a qualified person. I respect you because surrounding this association, lot of, not in California, I'm telling you, but it's happening outside now. Lot of very professional. Now, let me say you one thing. You said that GOPIO constitution is not getting a new latest one. What is the meaning of this?
Well, many of the people who are hearing and seeing this will agree with me. We really don't know what's the actual version of the constitution which we should follow. Sometimes some clauses and some sections are quoted. Another time something else is quoted. In fact, you know, I wanted to raise this point that GOPIO is busy, especially the top leadership is busy actually reconstituting the constitution always. It's like continuous amendments and never ending amendments.
Who has the copy?
I
Anybody?
fully agree with you.
Yeah,
Anyone
that's what
has
is happening.
Constitution?
What about that?
Bylaws,
Okay.
bylaws.
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 Okay. Oh, I said that when you say you have 47 chapters, and you are mentioning here some more people are involved in United States, and they don't have other people power from out of
Okay,
us.
let me explain that. You know, when we say 47, they were attending members in the Varanasi convention. When the convention happens, people have to travel down. and the eligible voting members were 47 in Varanasi. So let's leave that part. What I meant to say when I said that executive council is the administrative council. People get elected into membership of executive council. Some are nominated, and there is a secretary, treasurer, chairman, president, vice president, executive vice president, all of them. Now, when we agree that there should be balanced regional representation, which means that no one country will dominate in the executive council. Since we are a global organization, there should be fairly balanced representation. Now, we know that some countries or some regions are not very active with GOPIO, but we had agreed on a certain platform. Now we see that there is a dominating membership from US in the executive council. And Mr. Sunny will fully agree with me how they have pulled more members with whatever alibi reasons to see that the voting power goes one-sided. Any matter we put in the executive council, the decision is dominated and one-sided from that group of people who want to manipulate and control the executive council.
So that you can do that 47 members, that's okay, you can do. But I have another question for that. You said complete list of GOPIO members. Nobody has that, any list for that?
Nobody knows how many members are there.
Nobody knows this.
Really?
Nobody knows. And I can tell you this, that even when we ask, the only person, as far as I know, who has all the information, of course, Mr. Inder Singh would be. But now it is only the chairman. So none of us know who the members are and what are their eligibilities. And in time, this matter has to come up. But again, as members, we don't have any such information.
Okay, fine. But I discussed this also a long time ago, 2000 something, 10 or 12. But Inder saying we need a kind of list there. The people need it. But he said, oh, Gary ji, but you know that how to control people, this and this. He's a nice guy, I'm telling you. Inder Singh, very nice guy. He did hard work. But these kind of things, they have to listen it anyway. That's okay. Now,
I have a question for you, Sai. This is Amrit Bhandari. Do you have an idea who may have bylaws copy or list of the members or organizations or chapters?
Well, as far as I know, it should be only the chairman.
Dr. Thomas Abraham,
The chairman has it.
that's all.
I don't think anybody. I mean, I'm not saying this with knowledge, but as a normal common sense,
who can volunteer to get this together? Who can volunteer to get this membership name together? Who can volunteer?
You should write directly, Amritji, to the chairman, Mr. Thomas Abraham. Write an open letter to him requesting for the information.
We need to know that, so we can communicate on a monthly basis.
Yeah, right. Okay.
Or something.
You're right. You're right. Okay. Okay. We have a very short time now. Let me say you one thing only here. You said it. This is a one-man show. What do you mean of that? One-man show. Mr. Sai, Dr. Sai?
One-man show is one-man show. If one person tries to be the ringmaster, it is one-man show.
Okay.
Like we have in GOPIO LA one-man show, Keval Kanda. You have
a small problem. Problem will be start. Let me from the top there. Let me don't worry about that.
That is how it is going.
Harbachan Singh ji, let your turn now, please. Harbachan Singh.
I was raising a point of order in the beginning to express my understanding that we were gathering here to find ways and means to find how we can help GOPIO continue, solidify, and work as a single unit, unite and continue to work together. And that we were not going to point fingers or look for scapegoats here. So I will refrain from all that communication. GOPIO is so fortunate that it has all its members, or practically everyone is a professional. Everyone is experienced. We are so rich, and yet we cannot do what we had gathered together to do. We had gathered to help the people. Our diaspora, Indian diaspora here and in India. to see how we can help each other, how we can help the two countries trade, how we can help families, social welfare, and so forth, passports, all kinds of, land transaction, every kind of thing. But what we have engaged ourselves is in internal squabbles, and we have drowned ourselves with our own arguments that no proper work for GOPIO is being done, to the dismay of the Indian population who was looking up to GOPIO, that GOPIO will lead us, will help us. And we have disappointed them. We have let them down after we have organized ourselves and we have proclaimed and waved the flag of India. And then we could not live up to all our promises and the aspirations and the mission for which GOPIO was created. It's sad. I would have been happier if more people would have come. Then we could have actually discussed ways and means.
Correct.
We could have discussed our weaknesses, all our strong points, and wherever we were weak, we could have put forward suggestions how we can improve, and maybe we will come to a consensus, and we could have gone further. But unfortunately, we are handicapped by the absence of so many others who were so critical for these discussions today.
Who would like to talk about the Mahans?
Yeah, Mahan sent a message saying that he'll try to come in. If he can't, then I need to read his vision and mission. Just a few words. He said it's very important to revise the bylaws as per today's need, to look at the original one and then see what needs to be put, not arbitrarily, but in the general meeting. Then he said that in 30 years, we only have 40 chapters and only 250 life members known to us. So since we do not have a list of all the members and there's nothing transparent, he says we need to put all that transparently in front. Then he said that every life member has a right to vote without discrimination. And this election, which was postponed because a lot of people felt they didn't have notice or enough notice, or their emails were old, and so they never got the notice. And then he said that the GOPIO must follow a roadmap and officially prepared in a general meeting and roadmap so that we can obtain our goals as we go along with the new GOPIO.
Beautiful. So anybody want to, Minnie, you want to close it now?
Well, as Harbhajan ji said very rightly, the idea was to create a platform which was unbiased by the press so that all of us could meet and discuss how best to move forward. We all have grievances, we all have minor blames, and we all have had problems. And Harry Shard knows best that the problems he's had, which was pretty bad, and he has requested time and time again for help from the parent and the chairman and the parent company. So did Mr. Viren Singh had problems, but somehow we are not being able to work together in a cohesive manner. And I'm just begging the members, let's move forward holding hands as a community.
Amar Tupanari, go to closing, please.
I have
one half minute.
a question for Sunny. Sunny, this is Amrut Bhandari. You have such a
Yes.
good setup. You have good office setup in Chicago. Can
Yes.
you form a couple of committees like bylaws committee and election committee, whatever you have, and also we should have monthly newsletter. Communication is very important. So if you can
Yes.
some kind of a communication, emails, that way people will get the names, addresses, phone numbers, wherever they know.
Correct, correct.
Yeah. See, absolutely correct. See, we need not hide any
names and numbers and make a master list given to everybody. And also revise the bylaws. We should have bylaws committee, and committee should decide that maybe 2 or 3 members, old members, new members, whatever, and they can decide.
Okay.
And that is very important.
Say that Mr. Shard, S-H-A-D, Shard. Mr. Shard, only please, 1 minute, please.
I want to thank everybody for giving me the chance only two things I want to say: that I am totally disappointed with the international, the way in which they are going. The chapter has been paying them annual dues, and they were supposed to come to my rescue to sort the problem which I'm going with Keval Kanda and the EC, and they are at this moment a total failure, like a zero. And GOPIO LA, just to fire me out, they are changing the bylaws after sending me 4 suspension letters, which are totally incorrect. They don't even have the courage and strength to talk under penalty of perjury. They are talking nothing short of total preposterous, ludicrous, hocus pocus, and quote unquote nonsense in their letters to me. And I have
Okay,
to
thank you.
and I feel ashamed. Thank
Does
you.
bylaws have
Thank
the
you. Let me close that within half minute. My mission is the same mission. You people have that, even New York people, even GOPIO, everybody. We people, doesn't matter, we have so many different associations, 80 association. So we have to make a model here. We take a, I told Inder Singh also, that you will be like a guru. People will celebrate that. You are doing great job for our community. But don't do like this. I have a little difference. I have to. So same thing here. I'm sorry for that, to say these things.
Gary,
Okay.
Gary, I have a suggestion. Gary, I have a suggestion. Now you are the media mogul for Indian community. The report you write next one, can you make a place that anybody who has membership in past, you should contact somebody or you to give the name, current information so that we can.
Ji, Harbhajan ji, and Sunny ji, thank you for listening to me.
Okay.
Thank you.
God bless
you
you.
very much.
With my folded hands, thank
Very
you.
good. Thank you very
Thank
much.
you.
Thank you very
I
much. We'll
appreciate.
keep in touch.
Okay.
We'll
Okay.
keep in
Thank you,
touch.
Sunny ji. We
Thank
need
you.
to talk sometime. Harbhajan ji and Sai ji. Mini ji has
Yeah,
called my
please.
numbers. We'll have a 3-party conference.
Thank you.
Definitely.
God bless
Thank
you.
you very
Thank
much.
you.
Keep
Okay.
Gary-
HK close.